Hello, this is Britton LaRoche. I'm a Senior Solutions Architect at MongoDB. Today I'm going to talk about Realm and Atlas. On the right-hand side, we actually have mobile devices running the Realm database. The Realm is a very lightweight database that allows me to write an application and then write data directly to this database. And as I do so, on the back end, it will synchronize to Atlas. This is an Atlas console. This is Realm Stitch, which is actually running a Browser SDK, which allows me to access the data in the Atlas database. So as data is updated here, I can see it in Atlas. Vice versa, if I update data here, it is synchronized down to the mobile device. We do a very lightweight synchronization so that only the item that's been changed and the quantity, for example, just item ID and quantity will be passed back and forth, not the full document or the full object. If this were to go offline, you can still make updates on the mobile device, and then when it comes back online, the data would be synchronized, and any conflicts will be resolved through operational transform logic, and last write wins. So let's go ahead. We're looking at a company called Brave Organics. It allows local suppliers of organic items to sell their items in the store. I have signed up and I'm going to sell my Britain's bread. Because this is an Atlas, I have many different endpoints, entry points into the system. One of those is a webhook that was created and running serverless in Realm Serverless. I'm able to actually hit this webhook, passing in a post with a JSON document that describes my bread. So if I send this information in, it goes into Atlas and then is synchronized to the mobile devices. So we can see Britain's bread here, here, and here. And I can see that I have a quantity and a minimum quantity. As things change on the mobile device and are synchronized to Atlas, there is a trigger and a function that's watching this. So that if I go below the minimum quantity, it will contact me at the phone number I supplied when I signed up to let me know that I need to refill the inventory at that particular store. Additionally, I can actually show charts. Charts is a component that we have where you can build charts, interactive charts, and have them show up in your application. This is simply drag and drop and then build a chart and then embed it in my app so I can see that how much of the inventory is Britain's bread, for example, at this particular store. Another thing that I can do is we'll go ahead and walk through this. If I were to take a look at Britain's bread, I have a certain quantity and items that are available. I'm able to edit things about the Keeper's Honey. For example, I may change this to be 16 ounce or 12 ounce. And as I update this information, the information is pushed to the mobile devices. So let's go ahead and sell some of Britain's bread. I'm going to subtract a quantity. I'm now at the minimum quantity, but I haven't gone below it, so I'm at the threshold. If I were to go one more down, I sold another unit. I'm going to actually be contacted now through Twilio, through this function that is watching it, and it did see it, and it said, hello from Brave Organics. We have 9 units. Please reply. So I can actually go to the store, and just through SMS on my mobile device, I'm able to respond as I drop off 50 more of Britain's bread at store 161. And as I reply back, you can see that this actually comes in through Twilio and updates the inventory in real time. So everything is synchronized. I'm able to see this. Great stuff. In addition to that, Realm has a REST API, so I can actually go through and look to see where that product is. If I'm looking for Britain's bread, pass in a JSON document as a post, and I may want to take a look at the particular store 161, and I'm able to see that I have 59 units of that bread as a JSON document. This may be a large JSON document. Maybe I'm familiar with GraphQL. We have a GraphQL endpoint defined as well. I authenticate to this provider's local URL with my username and password. I'm given an access token, and then I can actually query this information. So if I'm looking for Britain's bread, I can actually see this information show up as well. So I'm actually doing the query. I'm able to shape this query, and I may be interested in maybe not the ID, but just what store it's in, the name, and not the price, but the minimum quantity, the quantity, and not the supplier number, but just how much is in there and what's the min and current quantity. So I'm able to see there's 10 minimum quantity and I've got 59. So I'm able to actually shape this through GraphQL. The last piece of the puzzle that I'd like to show is the Confluent integration. So we actually have integrated with Confluent Cloud through the Kafka connector. When you go to the Confluent Cloud, your cloud-to-cloud connections to Atlas so that it can watch the data as it changes in Atlas and notify downstream applications. So in this particular case, I can add a connector, MongoDB as a sink, for example, or as a source. Maybe I have MySQL as a source and I sync that to MongoDB or Oracle, put that into MongoDB, or vice versa. Atlas will be a source and we're able to sync with other downstream applications. So I have configured my source connector, and to do so I had a Kafka API secret, Mongo prefix, inventory demo, inventory item, connection information to my cluster, and we're off to the races. I build a topic that corresponds to that connector, Mongo inventory demo, and then I'm able to watch messages as they flow in. So we're going to sell some of Britain's bread. I'll subtract a quantity here. It's been sold. And then we can watch the items show up in here. I'll sell some milk as well. And everything is synchronized across the devices and in Atlas and now through Kafka. So let's take a look. As we sold these different items, I can actually see that Britain's bread is 58 units, organic milk at 88 units, and the price associated with that. And that is the demo. There is one last piece where I can actually show you kind of a walkthrough of how it all fits together. And it's kind of running through its little cycle. So at the beginning, we actually show you the different entry points in here. The Stitch SDK, that was the web interface that we saw. The REST and GraphQL interaction points. The mobile devices, where they actually enter data into it. And they pass into the Realm serverless, which is auto scale, with the functions and the triggers. And then that passes in straight into Atlas. And then we can, through that, use a source and sync into Kafka or send messages to Twilio. So here we have 10 units. We're at the minimum, but not below it. Now we sold one. We're at 9 units. We send that information to Twilio. Twilio responds back with 50 units. We're able to update that quantity and then send that out to all the locations that are watching that inventory, including the mobile devices. And we're at the endpoint. So thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this demo. Thank you very much.